Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Smile Code Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Tracy Quadu. Today, we're diving deep into something I think we can all relate to, and that is letting go. Now, whether it's a relationship, a job, a long-held belief, or even political outcomes that shake us, learning how to release what we cannot control is one of the most powerful things we can do. In fact, it's essential for finding freedom, inner peace, and a renewed sense of purpose. In today's episode, we're exploring 3 incredible stories that show us exactly how letting go can change our lives. Let's start with the queen of rock and roll herself, Miss Tina Turner. Tina's story is about surviving years of abuse at the hands of her husband and musical partner, Ike Turner. For a long time, she felt trapped, like she couldn't make it on her own. But one day, she decided that living in fear wasn't the life she wanted. So she walked out, literally with nothing but the clothes on her back. Now, what followed wasn't easy. She had to rebuild her career from scratch, but she took it one step at a time. And as she let go of that toxic relationship, she found herself again. She found joy, love, and a life beyond what she could have ever imagined, becoming an icon of not only music, but of strength and transformation. Her story teaches us that sometimes to find ourselves, we have to leave behind everything that's holding us back. Tina's story reminds us of something fundamental, that letting go isn't giving up, but rather it's opening up. It's making space for something better, something bigger. Sometimes it's the hardest step, but also the most essential one. Our next story takes us to Italy, India, and Bali with Elizabeth Gilbert, the author of Eat, Pray, Love. I'm sure many of you have seen the movie or read the book. Liz had what looked like the perfect life from the outside. A great husband, a home, a successful career. But inside, she felt empty, living out someone else's idea of happiness. So, she made a radical choice. She let go of the expectations that society had placed on her, that she herself had placed on herself. She set off on a journey to find peace, to find purpose, and love on her own terms. And along the way, she learned to savor life, to reconnect with her spirituality, and most importantly, to listen to her heart. Her story is one of rediscovering yourself by letting go of who you're supposed to be. Elizabeth's story shows us that sometimes we have to release our own expectations of success or happiness to find what truly fulfills us. Letting go isn't about losing anything, but rather it's about finding something real, something authentic. Now, let's bring it back home to something many of us are feeling today. The aftermath of this last presidential election, or the last elections. For some, the results are empowering. For others, it's a source of deep disappointment or even frustration. But here's the thing. Elections are not one of those big communal experiences. Elections are actually one of those big experiences that remind us just how much we cannot control. As a country, we're grappling with the need to let go of outcomes we hoped for but didn't get, and to find new ways to channel our energy positively. There are lessons to be learned here from Tina and Elizabeth. We can choose to hold on to anger, Or we can release what we cannot change and focus on what we can: our communities, our families, our actions, and our inner peace. For some, that might mean volunteering or getting more involved locally. For others, it might mean taking time to process emotions, reconnect with loved ones, or engage in self-care. Now, this isn't about resignation, but about renewal. When we let go of outcomes, we make space for action. We turn disappointment on its head. We turn it into purpose. This is the essence of resilience, the same resilience that helped Tina Turner and Elizabeth Gilbert transform their lives. So now let's talk about some practical strategies for releasing and letting go. The first one I want to touch on is to practice mindful awareness. Often, holding on to difficult emotions or past experiences happens because we're not fully aware of what we're clinging on to. So it's important to take a few moments each day to sit quietly, to close our eyes, and just observe our thoughts without judgment. Notice if there's something specific that's weighing you down, whether it's a memory, an expectation, or simply fear. Identify what you're holding on to is the first step to letting go. The second strategy I want to touch on is a ritual. We can call it a release ritual. Sometimes a tangible ritual can make releasing feel more real. One effective way is to write down whatever you're struggling to let go of on a piece of paper, whether it's a relationship, a belief, or a frustration. And when you're ready, destroy the paper, crumble it up, tear it, or safely burn it. And as you do, you visualize that burden dissolving in the process. This simple act symbolizes releasing it from your mind and from your heart. Third strategy is to practice self-compassion and forgiveness. Often, what we hold on to are judgments against ourselves or of others. Practicing self-compassion and forgiveness is essential to letting go of resentment or self-blame. Take a moment to place a hand on your heart. Acknowledge what you're feeling and say something kind to yourself like, "I forgive myself," or "I choose to move forward with love and peace." Now, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It simply means you're choosing It means you're choosing peace, over pain. Fourth strategy is to focus on the present. Letting go means releasing the past and redirecting your attention to what's happening here and now. One easy practice is grounding. You can do that by placing both feet on the floor and taking a deep breath and really tuning into your senses, the sounds, the smells, and the sensations around you. What this does is it reminds your mind to come back to the present, away from all those thoughts swirling around in your mind. Our fifth strategy is to set intentions for the future. Let's talk about setting positive intentions. Once you've let go of what you don't need, there's space for what you truly want. So what you want to do is write down a few intentions on how you want to feel or how you want to show up moving forward. For instance, you might write, "I intend to embrace joy, peace, and authenticity." Intentions help you focus on the path ahead, giving your mind something new and positive to hold on to. Now, these strategies, there are many more strategies, but these simple, straightforward strategies these are just practical tools that you can try almost immediately and will help you practice release and renewal. Now, each of these topics we've touched on today teaches us that letting go is truly an act of courage, isn't it? Whether it's a relationship, an expectation, or an election result, what we release allows us to step into a more authentic, purposeful version of ourselves. So ask yourself, what is one thing you can let go of this week? Is it a limiting belief, a grudge, or maybe just the expectation that everything has to be a certain way for you to be happy? Thank you for tuning in. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need a little extra encouragement. And remember, letting go isn't the end. It's the beginning of something even better. So until next time, stay true to yourself, keep smiling, and let's keep making room for the best that's yet to come. See you soon.